Hi! Welcome to a sort of pre-show chat. So I just wanted to talk to camera a little bit before the show to kind of know what to look out for and maybe share the moments that I feel are most special, because I feel like that might help the impact of it. Oh look, Nyen is coming. Should Nyen say hi? Hi Nyen! I remember I wrote Proud and I immediately saw strobe lights and just going like da, da, da. And I just sort of had this like physical idea with lights and color, and you know, this is such a complicated story because I would say this show really explores the in-between of good and bad. And that's what fascinated me most for the entire album, is it's kind of the story of this girl just trying different things out to feel powerful and to feel in control of herself. And ultimately realizing, I mean, this is dark, but she can't. I wanted the story to be told through the trajectory of a birth to a death sort of storyline. I also wanted that to represent sort of the ingestion of youth within girls, kind of like a substance sort of thing. That was a complete coincidence, by the way. And even, I mean, the very, very end, we hear the intro as the outro, kind of like this child star, like the cycle will continue. And it's kind of like this child, this girl going through this story of just taking hits and being told when she's good and when she's bad, and trying to win the good back and shed the bad and somehow take control of this narrative and feel loved again. Only to realize that that love is very self-serving and hollow. Colors. Storytelling with colors was also incredibly important to me for this. When I wrote Brand New, the first thing that came to my mind was pure red. I just thought it would be so powerful to be in all white and just slowly get stained. I do think that it's easy to, you know, abide by a narrative that is rewarding you in some way. So it's not that it wasn't still in control for CHILDSTAR, I'm talking in third person, but for this CHILDSTAR earlier, but it's when it starts to get dark and become a monster of its own that it becomes very clear that you're not in control. Does that make sense? And I think that that really goes into even Homesick. I even think of, there's a moment that you will see that is uncomfortable and very raw, which were the two things that I really, really wanted. I think that's powerful. I think that that is my honesty. There are religious symbols, but it's not a religious commentary, if that makes any sense. Really, I've been really inspired by like purity culture and my personal experience with that belief. So, but I'm no place, or I'm not at all speaking on any religion at all, but that's the explanation of any religious symbols you might see. Going into Fade, one of the final songs, and personally one of my favorite points in the entire play, I'm standing there. I remember I burst out in tears when we started rehearsing this in a rehearsal space, because it was just that moving for me. A lot of these dances and the way that we choreographed this came from just exercises. For the interlude before Fade, I remember Luca just told me to stand there and be limp, and asked everyone to fill the room and just start moving me and stay frozen in that place. I just think that there's so much beauty in honest pain, and that's just really, really what I wanted to do here. And that did it for me. That was that in every single essence of it. It was just so honest and so painful in the best way. Then Fade, I feel like, is such a great last song for this album, because in the spirit of everything I'm saying, it's kind of a fuck you to any barriers or constraints that were filtering your story. Fade is literally like the anthem of the whole album of like, I'm gonna celebrate my pain because that's what feels good to me. And that might not feel good to you, and that's not my problem. And that's sort of the final death of the show. I just really hope you like it. Yeah. So, cool. I guess you're about to see the show. I can't wait to know your guys' interpretation of everything, and I feel like I can even learn things from you. And I just appreciate you listening and giving me the chance to speak like this to you. So, enjoy the show.